Greetings, my friend. Today we have a different intro because I just feel like it, still hey, hope you're well. My name is Nina, welcome to the channel. Today we are tackling everything that lies behind me. Now we still need to attach a new ladder setup kit here, but we don't have a manual one. Hold, I will run to get one. I have returned. We are going to climb up this cliff because today we are going to work on this little area. If you've seen the last speed build, we have worked on the little rural farming district where Scoot's house is located, and I still want to have something up here, obviously. So I was thinking we could do some terraforming, maybe have some more buildings, but I also want to slowly transition this into a more natural kind of foresty bit. So I think that's exactly what we're going to do.
Nice shot!
And this is going to be another Let's Play, but before we do the Let's Play section, I think I'm going to do all of the terraforming stuff in speed build form, and then once we have all the terraforming down, I will return to you so that we can decorate together, because I really need all my brain power to terraform. So I will be right back with you. See you in a few. Okie dokie shocky, here we are. We are right in the build. For you, it is 1 second or couple seconds later. For me, it's actually over 2 days later, because this build took me a lot longer than I anticipated. And also I lied. This is not going to be another Let's Play. This is completely speed build because it was so much fidgeting with this build. I also started building something and then I got distracted and started a completely other build that's like behind the one that I initially wanted to do. And I only focused on that. And we're not even touching the front of this build. But I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. So welcome to the build of Scoot standing in the rain. Look at him. He's the sweetest little... I love him. Look at him in his little raincoat and in this little rain hat on top of his little swimming cap. I'm sorry, but I had to admire him for a second. But back to the build. I decided to actually do a bit of yet another harbour on this island. So we are doing a harbour that is facing the other direction. So we are basically looking out onto the water, and we are kind of like standing on a little railing, but it will take a second for me to realize that this is going to be what we're building today. So I started out making this little like alley of trees because I thought I wanted to do like a little more industrial area, with some of those metal buildings lined up on a diagonal, because I thought that would be very cute. I still really want to make that, but for the detail I just didn't have any inspiration, so that's why I think I got distracted in the end. But I started out making these buildings, which is actually kind of nice, and then I will show you in a sec how I got inspired to do the other build that I ended up doing, which I have already mentioned way too many times. I just came from physio and I am very, very tired because the exercises that we do are they are a lot for someone who hasn't done any kind of movement except for going to the bathroom and to the kitchen for like over 4 months now. So it's very tiring. I feel very sore, very tired, and I can't wait to, have a nice relaxing shower later tonight, have some dinner, and just lay down and just don't do anything. Do not move a single muscle, because your girl isn't that sporty in general. But if you haven't moved in months, it doesn't make it better. I can tell you that much. But anyways, back to the build. Here we can kind of see the two main buildings that you will also see. Not really see, but that will lead into the area that we are actually going to be, focusing on this build. So I did just like a couple of buildings, and I tried to like mix it up between the storefronts and the retro transportation stops in like multiple different colors to make it feel, cheerful, because I always feel like I describe this little island as a cheerful suburban little town thingy. So that's exactly what I wanted to do for this, even though I said that I wanted this area to feel a bit more industrial. But never let them know your next move. And I feel like I was living by that mantra in this video, because even when I decided that I wanted to do the little harbour build, which by the way I think is I don't know. I can't really pick a favorite when it comes to the harbors. I really like all of them for different reasons, and they are very, very different, all of them, which I just really like. But even when I knew what I wanted to do, I was still very, very fidgety with what I did. And because some of you guys actually told me that you wanted to see a bit more of my thought process to, you know, be able to understand why I made the choices that I made for the design. I left a couple of them in, obviously not every single thing, because that would just make the video so long. And if you like to see that, you can catch one of my lives or watch one of the VODs back, which is the video of a past live stream. But here you can see me starting on the area that we will actually be focusing on. So as you could see, it's kind of off, you know, behind the buildings that we just made. And, you know, you have like this tiny baby little road, which we're also going to be pathing up. There's going to be a bunch of pathing in this video, but I try to keep it to a minimum so that you don't, you know, fall asleep while watching. And initially I wanted to have like a little canyon type of thing with like waterfalls in the back. And when I built up this cliff and wanted to climb it, I realized that this was a 4th or 3rd level cliff that I can't climb. So I decided to dig down into the cliff basically, and we're going to go down all the way to the ground level to create this very nice view and get the vastness of the, you know, in-game kind of ocean that's surrounding the island. And I really like how this turned out. And I initially got the inspiration for this because I placed down a boat there, because I felt like, okay, this doesn't feel as harbory to me. So because I always say that this is like a harbor, suburban, you know, village thingy, I felt like we needed either more farming or more fishing, because again, this is like a raw fishing mix. This island has so many themes. I have described this island in 3 different ways already in this video, and we are only not even halfway through. But there you can see my struggle. So I decided that this would actually be the perfect spot to dig into the cliff, because I knew that I wanted to have one of the areas where you would, you know, look out onto the ocean towards the back, because I really like that, you know, everyone is so obsessed with backwards inclines, and I just thought it would be very nice to have like a backwards kind of lookout, which obviously everything's going to be facing backwards, you know, if you have a lookout, because you don't have a 3D camera in Animal Crossing. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Please do. But here you can see me making a start. We will also be scraping off a ton more of the cliff that we still have surrounding this little, I don't know, it kind of looks like a fake kind of river mouth to me, which I actually really like the idea of. And I actually tried playing with that idea and completely cover like the weird brim that we get with the green of the grass. Sorry. The green. Okay. That kind of pokes through the beach rock thingies. So I tried to completely cover that, and I think I really like how it turned out. We're also gonna make this little area back here accessible, so we will have some vines going down. I'm also thinking about maybe including some of the iron ladders, because I really like how they look, so that this looks a bit more accessible. You are technically gonna go down and end up, you know, running through water, but maybe if we, you know, figure out the surrounding areas of this, we will be able to maybe give this an access point in a different place. But I'm not really sure what's going to be surrounding this, so we will just keep it like this for now. And just imagine that we are a biblical person and we are able to walk on water, you know, that kind of vibe. To the left here, I knew that I wanted to have a little building, and here you can see me kind of check the view, even though I hope that it's now, because I always edit my voiceover so much because I say so much of kind of, yeah, and then like just that kind of vibe, so I need to cut a lot of that out. Why did I just go into a rant about that? But here you could also just see me, you know, check the view, and now I'm exchanging the fences, because I was initially gonna put down a log fence, but I didn't really like how much it was hiding of the area that was lying behind it. So I decided to go for this blue version of the park fence. And then it was already time to make a start on like the, you know, street road pathing. So I made a start on that. I feel like my brain also did a lot of exercise today, which is really not the case. But it feels like my brain is just mush, which is always the case. So I shouldn't even mention it. But anyways, more road pathing. I also made sure to have like a bunch of like broken up parts so that we can have like some flowers and some like, I don't know, plastic bags and stuff like that inside of these little holes that I left in the road path to make it feel very natural, because I imagine this little nook that we are designing today to be kind of the place where people would maybe come to sail or chill at the beach, even though there's not much of a beach, but you know, we will just say that there is somewhere here. So we'll have like kind of like a natural car park situation where we just have some parks randomly parked around. We will have cars randomly parked around the area, which I really, really like the look of. It gives me like a very realistic feeling, which is always a good sign, I think. And then I tried to frame it in with a building to each side, and I went with two very different build kind of styles so that it gives this little mismatched feel, which I really like for Harbour. To me, Harbour just screams mismatched. I don't know, I have no idea why, but I just really, really like how this looks. So we have the blue building to the right, and then we will have the kind of coppery, rusty building that we created a second ago to the left, which I really, really like. And then I tried to play with the shape of the house a bit, and I am just so happy with how this turned out, because when I started creating the buildings, I was like, ooh, is this gonna look awkward? Is this gonna be too little space, you know, for us to create some buildings? Because I like to create very, very big builds that you won't get like one view of, because it's like so big you can't fit it in a frame of the Animal Crossing camera. But you will be able to get this in one shot, which I'm really, really happy about. And then I, made a start on the building that I wanted to have back here. This is also going to go through quite the bit of a shuffle. So not the building itself, but more so what we will have surrounding the building, because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I think I started out doing like some oil barrel bathtubs, and then later I went to a treasure island and got like the wooden boxes and some more fish containers, stacked fish containers and bottle crates, stuff like that. And I feel like that really helped it, because just the oil barrels everywhere feels very kind of monotone, because I really love using them and I have them all over the island. But I really wanted to have like some different items. If I'm doing like that many harbor areas, I at least want to give each and every single one of them like their own kind of character and purpose, if that makes sense. So this one looks more like an import kind of harbor. So where, you would maybe come, and this is more the industrial harbor where people would drop off some shipping and stuff like that. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. So that's what we're going to go for. And if you see me I use the corrugated iron fencing to kind of line the, little pier thingy that I created. I know that you would probably have something more see-through, because you might want to see the water that lies behind it. But since we have that weird like grass border around the island, the green of the grass that you can't really cover up, I felt like that was the best idea. And then I just had that one little piece of rope, which kind of looks like it's an entry for maybe when there's a ferry that would maybe take you somewhere, and that's the entrance to the ferry that they would then open up, maybe unhook one of the sides of the rope, something along those lines. But in general, I really, really like how this looks. Also, I haven't even asked you how you are feeling today. I hope you're well, my dear. I feel very, very motivated. Like, I'm kind of always in the state between like I'm very, very content with, this, which is now my job, but also really like hesitant to feel content, if that makes sense, because there's always a lot of work to do, but then I get to manage myself when I do the work and how I do the work, and I don't even really consider it work because I'm basically playing a video game. But still, like, I don't know, maybe it's the imposter syndrome kind of kicking in, telling me that I shouldn't be too happy about it, which is just so stupid. But in general, I feel very content now that this is my job. I feel like it kind of clicked, and I feel a lot more relaxed when I do my video editing and stuff. I feel a lot more free, which is so much fun. The last video that I uploaded actually on Tuesday, I had so much fun editing that, and it might sound a bit weird because I'm basically listening back to myself and just making it like a bit funnier instead of making me look and sound very stupid. Because that's basically what I do when I edit. I try to kind of make up for my stuttering and my blabbering. I don't always do a perfect job at that, but you can't always be perfect, right? What am I going on about again? Is this even interesting to you? No idea. I feel like I sometimes turn this into a little bit of a podcast. which is a bit strange. I should not do that. I should maybe talk about the build, which I'm now going to go back to, because I am back at pathing, and I really, really like this little stone stair code that I used to lead up to this building on the right here. And I just feel like when I laid down this pathing, it brought the entire area together, because before that, I felt like it was kind of feeling a bit, I don't know, it didn't fit really well within this little nook of the island. But I really, really like how it looks now, and I feel like it fits the character of a harbour. Like it's all a bit, you know, tight. The alleys and the streets that we have are a bit thin and narrow, but still it feels vast because we have the view of the bay and the ocean. So in general, I'm just really, really, really happy with how this turned out. And I also had like a lot of fun with the weird car thingy that my neighbor drives. It's basically this. Have you seen these kind of motorcycles that have the cover over them? So it kind of looks like a mini car. That kind of thing, and it makes the weirdest sounds. What am I waffling on about again? Back to the build. Jesus, I had a lot of fun also playing with color, because I tried to have like some pops of yellow, and no, it's only yellow. I think I completely eliminated the red. I was initially thinking that I could also play with some red elements, but it felt like a bit too much, so I completely erased that idea, and I went for like blue and then some pops of yellow here and there, which I really, really, really enjoy. I think they go really well together, even though technically with the blue you would usually go for an orange because that's the complementary color, but I feel like the yellow still goes very, very well with it, and it just has this nautical kind of feel to it, which I really enjoy. And I don't know, I think that's also what makes it so cheerful, that I am not too obsessed with color, but I don't know, I still make an effort to incorporate enough of it, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just really enjoyed it. And back here now, you can see the second shuffle process begin, because I felt like I really wanted to layer or kind of line up the wooden storage sheds. Is that what they are called? Yes, the wooden storage sheds in the white and the blue, because I felt like they really, really work so well for a harbor kind of build with the colors, and they even give the kind of vibe of, you know, those beach seat thingies that you have that have like all the different colors. Maybe that's a German thing actually, that we only have like at the North Sea. I'm not really sure, but I really, really like how that looks. Also, I feel like I always say I really, really like this. I really, really adore this. It's my favorite word. Apparently it's not, but apparently it is. But we are already, I feel like, are we? Yeah, we're kind of nearing the end of this build, because I'm just finishing up the buildings, and then I'm sprinkling in some more finishing touches to this little alley that leads you to the build that we did today. I am excited to also finish up the front of this build. Obviously, we might do that next time we go live, which is going to be next Thursday, at least on YouTube. I will be live tomorrow on Twitch at 5 p.m. CST. If that's your vibe and you'd like to join, feel free to. We will be working on the other island that we're currently working on, Milk, the medieval island, and it has a twist that only the Twitch lovelies of you know. But I'm waffling again. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I really hope that you enjoyed this build and that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please, feel free to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to. I would love to see you here. And yeah, I'm going to leave you now with a montage of this finished build. Take care of yourself, my dear. Until next time, and bye-bye.